Good morning. In the previous video, we have done fundamental analysis. Today, we will be doing technical analysis. Regarding fundamental analysis, we did that the task of fundamental analyst is to check all the fundamental factors which may impact earning capacity of the company or market price of the share. So all the factors which are related to economy, industry or company which have impact on earning potential, dividend policy of the company or market price of the share of the company, we analyze all these factors in fundamental analysis. And on the basis of this analysis, we try to find intrinsic value of the share. This intrinsic value is compared with the market price to find overpriced or underpriced shares. If intrinsic value is more than market price, then share is underpriced. This type of share is to be purchased by the investor. But if intrinsic value is less than market price, then share is overpriced. This share should not be purchased by the investor. Now, another analysis which can be done in stock market is technical analysis. Technical analysis is different from fundamental analysis in a way that technical analyst believes that there is no need to check fundamental factors. Only on the basis of prices or volume of transaction in the market, you can predict future price behavior in the market, right? So technical analysis goes on the assumption that market can tell its story itself. Only on the basis of market analysis, you can make investment decisions, right? So regarding technical analysis involves study of market related data to find what is trend in prices, and on the basis of this trend, you can predict future direction of the price movement. It is believed that share prices are determined by demand and supply forces which are operating in the market. In the market, investors buy, they sell on the basis of their demand and supply. Share prices are determined. Demand and supply forces again are influenced by a large number of factors. These factors may be fundamental or emotional, rational or psychological. Because of combined impact of these factors, share prices move in a particular direction. So what technical analysts do? He tries to check share price movements and see what is the trend in prices, right? So technical analysis is based on the proposition that share prices and volumes in the past, they suggest future price behavior in the market. So technical analyst, he analyzes movement in price, he finds pattern of movement, then it is assumed that same pattern will follow in future, right? Unless some significant information comes in the market which may lead to reversal of prices, we are assuming that same trend will continue in future. So on the basis of analysis of past prices and trend in prices, you can predict future share prices. So technical analysis involves forecasting future prices on the basis of historical price data. The definition of technical analysis, you can use definition given by Martin. According to Martin, the technical approach to investing is essentially a reflection of the idea that prices move in trends which are determined by the changing attitude of investors towards a variety of economic, monetary, political, and psychological forces. The basic proposition is history tends to repeat itself, right? So if history is repeating, after down, up will be there, after up, down will be there, and on the basis of analysis of these ups and downs in the market, you can predict future prices. So short-term trading signals in the market can be achieved, can be seen using technical analysis. The entire analysis is based on market data only. We are not analyzing any factor which is outside the market, only market data is analyzed in technical analysis. That's why technical analysis is also known as market analysis. The task of technical analyst is to identify the trend in prices, to see when there will be reversal in trend, that means when prices will move in the opposite direction, and also to distinguish between reversals within a trend and the real change in trend. Many times ups and downs, they take place within a particular trend. Upward trend is there, prices may for short term may go down, but otherwise upward trend is there in the market. This kind of market is bullish market. Reversal in trend will take place when bullish market, it turns into bearish market. So this is task of technical analyst is to see that when there is the actual reversal in trend, because price or investment decision is to be made before reversal takes place in the market, right? The main technique used by technical analysts is charts and graphs. The entire analysis is based on charts and graphs of prices or index of prices made in the market. These charts help in identify trends in prices, and then these trends are used to forecast future price behavior. Now, technical analysis, it has some basic tenets, some basic premises. These are: market prices are determined by interaction of demand and supply forces. Demand and supply are influenced by a variety of factors, both rational and irrational. Barring minor deviations, stock prices tend to move in fairly persistent trends, right? This is the basic thing in technical analysis. The analysis is based on the assumption that prices are moving in a particular trend. And this trend will continue unless some significant information comes in the market which leads to reversal in trend. Same trend in prices will continue unless there is some definite information leading to change or reversal in trend. Like in January, February, Indian stock market was showing upward trend. But because of COVID-19, this upward trend, it changed, reversal in trend was there, and market from bullish turned to bearish market, right? So unless some definite information comes in the market, the technical analyst assumes that same trend will continue in future. Changes in demand and supply may bring about change in trends. These changes can be predicted well in advance. Because of persistence of trends, analysis of past data can be used to predict future price behavior. Thus, the job of technical analyst is to identify these trends in prices and to see when there will be reversal in trend leading to movement of prices in the opposite direction. This is the most important task of technical analyst, that is to find reversal in trend. If you are making investment decision, buying or selling decision before the reversal, you can maximize your gain in the market, right? Now we can quickly do this difference between fundamental analysis and technical analysis. This is very, very important from examination point of view. We have done in fundamental analysis, the focus is on long-term investment decision making. And for long-term investment decision making, you must analyze all fundamental factors. The basic objective is to find intrinsic value of the share, fair value of the share. You compare that with market price to find over or underpriced shares, and accordingly you make investment decision. Technical analysis is short term in nature. You check trends and prices, and on the basis of these trends you make short term investment decision in the market. So this has short term value. Let us quickly see difference. The basic philosophy in fundamental analysis is share has a real worth. An investor can beat the market by analyzing fundamental factors and making an early decision. In technical analysis, we go by the philosophy that share prices show identifiable trends which can be analyzed by the investor by early prediction of change in trend. The objective in fundamental analysis is to find intrinsic value. In technical analysis, we try to identify trends in prices and see when there could be reversal in trend. Source of information. In fundamental analysis, we are analyzing external sources of information. When I say external sources, that means sources which are external to the stock market. If you are analyzing company related data or economy or industry related data, this is a source which is external to the market. In technical analysis, we are using sources which are internal to the market. The entire technical analysis is based on price data and volume of transaction in the market. Regarding type of information or data use, in fundamental analysis, we use information on fundamental factors relating to economy, industry, and company. In technical analysis, I have already told, share prices, volume of transaction, market indices, that means all the data which is internal to the market, this is used in technical analysis. Regarding short and long-term predictions, fundamental analysis tries to establish long-term values. Technical analysis mainly seeks to predict only short-term price movements. Because fundamental analysis is establishing long-term values, this is mainly used by long-term institutional investors like mutual funds, pension funds, foreign institutional investors, or long-term bulk investors in the market. Technical analysis, this is mainly used by short-term traders like day traders. Regarding techniques used in fundamental analysis, ratio analysis, valuation models, etc. are used. Technical analysis is based mainly on charts and graphs. Investment decision, how it is made. In fundamental analysis, we say if intrinsic value is more than market price, you should buy the share. If intrinsic value is less than market price, you should sell the share. In technical analysis, we are analyzing the trend. And on the basis of analysis, if we predict that in future market is expected to rise, you can make buying decision. But if you are predicting market to fall, then immediately the shares should be sold. Where and when to invest, this is very important thing. Fundamental analysis helps us in finding what investing securities. That means if I have to invest for long term in the market and I want to know where to invest, then I should use fundamental analysis. Technical analysis tells you about the right time to invest in the market, right? Fundamental analysis is said to be rational analysis. This is based on rational factors, logical factors, scientific analysis. So this is basically a rational analysis. Technical analysis capitalizes on market psychology, demand and supply forces in the market. So mainly this is based on market psychology. The question generally is asked, are these two analyses mutually exclusive? No, these two analyses are not mutually exclusive. I can say these are complementary in nature. Mainly for long-term investor, both the analyses are very, very important. If I have to invest in the market for long term, then for selecting the shares, I must use fundamental analysis. But if I have to make buying or selling decision, I want to see what is the right time to enter in the market. For that, technical analysis must be used. Suppose I have selected some shares, but market analysis, technical analysis is showing that market may fall in near future. In that situation, I should wait for some time. If prices fall, then I can buy the selected shares at lower prices, and this is beneficial for me. So long-term investor must use fundamental and technical analysis both, right? These two techniques are not mutually exclusive. Technical analysis is frequently used as a supplement to fundamental analysis rather than as a substitute for it. Technical analysis has short-term value, quick method to see in which direction market will go and when reversal is expected. Fundamental analysis is long-term in nature. This is tedious, this is time consuming, this requires more resources, but this establishes long-term values. For long-term investor, bulk investors, institutional investors, fundamental analysis is very, very important, right? So short-term investor, he may base his decision totally on technical analysis. Day traders, they can go by technical analysis. They don't have much time to go for fundamental analysis. But long-term investors, they must use both the analysis to decide what to buy. You can use fundamental analysis, and to decide when to invest, you can use technical analysis. Usually technical analysis confirm the findings of fundamental analysis. So you can say these two analyses are not mutually exclusive. These are complementary in nature. Now, regarding theories of technical analysis, the most important theory in practical life and from examination point of view also is Doe theory of technical analysis. This was given by Charles Doe. This is oldest and one of the best known theories of technical analysis given by Charles Doe in around 1901. The main hypothesis of the theory is stock markets do not perform on a random basis. Rather, it is guided by some specific trends. The future market direction can be predicted by following these trends. According to this theory, three main types of trends are there in the market: primary trend, secondary trend, and minor trend. We can see these three trends. Primary trend is long-term trend in prices. This may go for number of years, starting from 9 months. You can say 5 years, 6 years, overall trend in the market. This is known as primary trend. By using line chart, you can identify primary trend. If primary trend is upward, then we say bullish market is there. If primary trend is downward, then bearish market is there. One significant thing you can check in the market is that if market is moving in such a way that every peak, line chart is showing the peaks and bottoms. If every peak is higher than the previous peak and every bottom is higher than the previous bottom, then we say bullish trend is there, upward trend is there in the market. So primary trend is long-term trend in the market which may carry entire market up or down. Now within this long-term trend, secondary trend is there. This secondary trend is also known as technical corrections or adjustments to the excesses that may have occurred in the primary trend. Suppose prices are moving upward. Market is going up, up, up. After some time, some correction may be there in market. That means for a short term, downward trend may be there. This is not reversal in trend. This is only correction in the market. After this correction, if again market is moving upward and the next peak is higher than the previous peak, that means still the same bullish trend is continuing in the market. So secondary trend is only short-term correction or adjustment in the market. This mainly acts as restraining force on the primary market. This is very, very important in Doe theory. And then minor trend, these are daily ups and downs in the market. You know, in stock market, within a day, many a times ups and downs in prices, these are there. So these ups and downs on daily basis are known as minor trend because these are of short duration. In Doe theory, they have little analytical value. You can see this diagram. On x-axis we have taken time, on y-axis price. This line chart, from this line which is going through these ups and downs, you can check primary trend in the market. This line is moving upward, so there is bullish trend in the market. These short-term downs, these are secondary corrections in the market. Prices overall, our market overall is moving upward, bullish trend is there, but short-term downs are there. These are known as secondary trend or corrections or deviations in the market, right? We can also depict in the diagram minor trend this way. Again, on x-axis time is there, on y-axis price is there. Prices don't move in a smooth way. Daily fluctuations are there. These small zigzag lines show daily ripples or wiggles or minor trend. This line is indicating bullish trend in the market. This is upward trend, primary trend, and these are corrections in the market. This is secondary trend in the market, right? So this is regarding Dow theory. Three major trends have been explained in Dow theory. Further, the primary trend can be explained in bullish market. We know each peak is higher than the previous peak, each bottom is higher than the previous bottom. These ups and downs have been explained by Dow in this way. In bullish market, usually three peaks and two bottoms are there. First peak results from building of investors' confidence. When investors gain confidence in the market, revival of confidence is there, they start buying in the market, which leads to first peak. But after some time, some investors, they sell to book their profit, which leads to first bottom in the market. Then again, some good news comes in the market, say financial results have been announced by the companies or government has announced a budget. Because of that good news, investors, they come to know that in future again market will rise. They start buying in the market. Because of this buying, the second peak results, right? After second peak, again some investors, they sell their holdings. Then second bottom is there. Some investors still think that market will go up, and in speculation, because of their optimism, they buy in the market. And because of this speculative buying in the market, third peak comes into picture, right? So you can see this in this diagram. This is primary trend in bullish market. You can explain this with the help of 5 waves. First wave upward, second downward, third upward, fourth downward, fifth upward. Every peak is higher than the previous peak. Every bottom is higher than the previous bottom. That means this is bullish trend. The first wave is because of revival of investors' confidence in the market. Then because of some selling in the market, profit booking in the market, this bottom is there. Then good results come in the market, which because of which investors again buy in the market, leading to this upward trend, this third wave in the market. Then some selling is there, and after that in speculation, when investors buy, because of this speculative buying, this fifth wave is there, right? In the same way, bearish market can be explained through 5 waves. In bearish market, the first wave is downward, second upward, third downward, and so on. See this diagram. Just by looking at the diagram, you can say that this is bearish market. See, every peak is lower than the previous peak. Every bottom is lower than the previous bottom. So this is a bearish market. This first downward wave is because of loss of confidence of investors in the market, because they don't have confidence in the market, they sell in the market. Because of this selling, downward wave is there. After some time, some of the investors think that this is the lowest price, they buy at that price. Because of this buying, prices move up, right? But again some bad news comes in the market. Because of that bad news, again selling is there in the market, leading to again third wave, downward wave. Then some buying is there, some upward movement. After that, if still no good news is coming in the market, investors think that they should better sell their holdings. Because of this panic selling, this downward wave, fifth wave is there. So in this way, primary trend can be explained in bearish market, right? Another theory is Elliott wave theory. Elliott wave theory, you can say, is only an extension of Doe theory. Elliott, this person, R.N. Elliott, again believes that the trend in the market, primary trend in the market, it can be explained in the form of waves, right? So basic proposition of his theory is stock prices in the market can be described as a set of wave pattern. These waves, why these waves are caused? These are caused by investors' reaction to external factors, right? As per this theory, Elliott wave theory, the long-term major patterns may consist of 5 successive steps or waves. Elliott named these waves as motive or impulsive waves. So if bullish market is there, the 5 waves, as we did in Doe theory, the 5 waves are in this way. First wave upward, second downward, third upward, and so on. These 5 waves are known as motive or impulsive waves. In motive waves, in bullish market, each peak is higher than the previous peak and each bottom is higher than the previous bottom, right? Now, as per Elliott wave, after these 5 motive waves, in the market, 3 corrective waves will come. The first wave downward, second upward, and third down, right? So 5 motive waves, 3 corrective waves, this total 8 waves, they make one trade cycle, one complete wave cycle, right? Motive waves, what they show? They show direction of the main trend, direction of the market. Corrective waves, they move against this trend, they do correction in the market. You can see this in this diagram. See, again on x-axis time is there, on y-axis prices are there. These first 5 waves 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, these are termed as motive waves in Elliott wave theory. These 1, 3, and 5, these show direction of the market. These 2 and 4, these are short-term counter waves. They will not impact direction of the market. So these first 5 waves, we say these are motive waves. After 5 waves, correction comes in the market. These corrections have been explained in terms of A, B, and C. See this A and then B. This peak is lower than 5. So this is not going in the same direction, upward direction. This is correction in the market, right? So A, B, and C, these show corrections in the market. These are termed as corrective waves. This M plus C, M is a combination of 1 to 5 motive waves. C is corrective waves, A to C. M plus C, they make complete wave cycle. After this wave cycle, another cycle may come. That cycle may be upward, may be downward. So another higher cycle may be there. See this way. This cycle 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 motive waves, A, B, C, 3 corrective waves. After that, if market is still doing well, confidence of the investors that is there in the market, another cycle of 8 waves may be there. These 5 are motive waves and these 3 are corrective waves, right? So 8 waves make one complete cycle. After that cycle, another higher cycle may be there in the market. Elliott wave theory is commonly used in the market. See this way. These are short-term movements. Ignore these short-term movements. See the overall trend in the market. Here this is moving upward, then down, then upward, down, and then upward. So you can term these as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These 5 are motive waves. After 5, this down and then up. See, this peak is lower than this peak. That means these are corrections in the market. A, B, C, these are corrective waves in the market, right? So Elliott wave theory explains the trade cycle in the form of waves. Waves include motive waves and corrective waves. These two theories are basic theories in technical analysis. These are very, very simple theories. They say that no individual investor can affect the price or trend in the market. The task of technical analyst is to predict early reversal of price movement and capitalize on that. But the problem is the basic theories, they do not indicate when the reversal will take place. For that, we can use different charts in the next PPT. Next PPT, in next video, I will be explaining various charts to show you how to predict reversal in trend. But basic theories in technical analysis, these are Doe theory and Elliott wave theory. We can also do one chart here. This is moving average chart or moving average analysis, right? Moving average is nothing but averages calculated on a continuous basis or rolling basis. Suppose we are checking weekly data of the market and I am calculating 10 weeks moving average. So what I will be doing from the data, first I will be taking first 10 weeks total, right? First 10 weeks total, then second to 11th week total, then third to 12th week total, then fourth to 13th week total. These are known as moving totals, totals calculated on a continuous basis, right? And then from these totals, you can calculate moving averages. First total, second total, third, fourth, all the totals individually are to be divided by 10. They will give you 10 weeks moving averages. Suppose I am calculating moving average, 5 weeks moving average, right? So first total will be from first to fifth week total and then divide that by 5. This will give you 5 weeks average, right? Second total will be from second to sixth week prices total. Divide that by 5. This will give you another average. Then third to sixth week, then fourth to seventh, like that. So on moving basis, you are calculating totals and then averages. You plot these averages on the graph. The first total, agar 5 weeks ka you are taking total, then first total will be plotted against 2.5 weeks, 2.5 weeks, right? Second total will be plotted against 3.5 weeks, this way, right? The moving average chart depicts moving average over a period of time. Moving average chart is a smoothened presentation of the movement in prices, which indicate both the degree as well as direction of change, right? Now, when you are using this chart with the stock price, stock line chart, then you can identify buy or sell signals in the market. If market price line cuts moving average line from below, it is a buy signal. And when market price line cuts the moving average line from above, this is a sell signal. See this chart. See this moving average line, this will be a smooth line. But when we are plotting individual share prices, this will be a zigzag line. Average smoothens the things, right? This is moving average line. I'm using this with this stock price line. If stock price line cuts moving average from above, this is a sell signal. This shows that prices will fall in future. So it is better to sell. But if this line is cutting moving average line from below, this shows that prices are expected to rise in future. This is a buy signal, buy today, and then you can sell later on at a higher price, right? So combining moving average line with stock line, if you combine these two, you can find buy or sell signals in the market. You can see from here also, this is stock price line, this is moving average line. When stock line is cutting moving average line from above, this is a sell signal, prices are expected to fall in future. But if stock price line is cutting moving average line from below, this is a buying signal, prices are expected to rise in future, right? This is regarding today's presentation. From this portion of technical analysis, you can try these questions, and for this portion you can refer to these books.